Well, it turns out Season 11 of Jetlag the Game is going to be a brand new season of Tag Across Europe, this time centered around Italy. Although sadly, they didn't go for my perfect tagline and call it Tag Across Europe 3 Tagliatelle. Odds are low, but in the event that you have no idea what I'm talking about right now, boy, do I have the show for you. Jetlag the Game is a game show on wheels. It's got some of the best strategy and smartest editing I've seen in any TV show, and it's available right here on YouTube. Every season the rules and setting are different, and this time around we're playing tag across Southern Europe. Now, I like me a good GeoGuessr challenge, and so for the last handful of Jetlag seasons, I and a group of equally avid fans on the Jetlag Discord server have been part of a project to analyze each of the season's trailers to the extreme. Looking at each individual clip, we geolocate the places shown, we arrange the scenes chronologically, and we try our best to glean what we can about the events of the upcoming season. So, of course, when a trailer for this newest season dropped the other week, we went straight to work. Now, since it was initially getting teased at, I have been particularly excited about this specific season, because I just so happened to be preparing for an interrail trip through this exact region of Europe. How cool would it be if I were able to visit a future Jetlag location before the season aired? Now, that was last month, so back then I was only really able to speculate about where the crew, Sam, Ben, and Adam, might have been, but I made sure to take just so many photos. Let's see if I managed to catch a location from the show. Before we get into it though, I must warn you up front that, as with all of these videos, there are massive spoilers ahead. Please consider carefully whether you really want to watch this video if you haven't watched the season yet. And even more importantly, do not spoil the season for people in the show's YouTube and Reddit comments. Don't. Thank you. Now on with the show. So, what are we looking at here? Well, as Sam explains in the trailer, we're in for a new season of Tag Across Europe. The core rules remain largely unchanged from earlier tag seasons. One player is the runner, and that runner must complete random challenges drawn from a set of cards in order to earn budget that they can use to travel towards a win destination. And if the runner makes it all the way to that end destination, they win the game immediately. The other two players are chasers, and they can use any means necessary in order to catch the runner before this happens. When the runner is caught, the roles switch, and one of the chasers becomes the new runner. At the end of 3 days, if no win destinations have been reached, the winner of the game is decided by whose win area the runner is currently in. And now the trailer also gives us the 3 end destinations for the season. The Confluence Museum in Lyon, France for Sam. For Ben, we have the island of Capri down in central Italy. And for Adam, we have the Bratislava Castle in Slovakia. Now I did try to predict the end destinations back when the season was still in the middle of being filmed. I got pretty close to getting Capri, like I was on the island next to it, Ischia. But overall, yeah, it was a miss. I didn't guess it. Now, for the locations we actually see them visit in the trailer, at this point, we have located almost all of them. Of the ones we haven't found, there's this one of Ben, a train with a couple of trees outside, not much to go off of there. And then there's this zoom out graphic at the end of the teaser. A lot of these clips were just so short, weirdly cropped, miscolored, and zoomed in on people's faces that it just wasn't feasible to try and figure out where they were. As you may have noticed, the trailer has a lot of footage of Sam and Ben chasing and Adam running, not unlike the Season 7 trailer. Well, this is because a lot of these clips are seemingly from the very first run of the game with Adam running. We can assume that this is all from his first run because we have different clips of him as the runner where he has a different outfit on. As always, the different outfits that the players wear have served as a crucial clue when figuring out where these clips fit in on the timeline. These are the different outfits that we've identified. The outfits are largely the same throughout each day, but there are a couple of exceptions when Ben and Adam seemingly put on some warmer clothes temporarily. Now I think most of these clips from Adam's first run are probably all going to be shown in the first episode of the show. But I wouldn't know since I'm recording this on the very day when the first episode is supposed to come out on Nebula, in under an hour. Look at that, the trailer is out, but first episode, not so much, not yet. So, with all that said, why don't we try to actually build out a timeline of the season here? Starting with... So as we see in the first clip of the trailer, the crew starts out right in the middle of their play area in the town of Ferrara in Italy. And of course, this we have known since way back at the end of May when they started recording the season, because Sam almost always posts a selfie to Twitter right before they start recording every season. Which also means that this is the one place where I could go and recreate a pose from the season back when I was on vacation before the trailer came out. After the intro, Adam immediately starts running. He's the first runner. So where does he go? Well, the next place we see him in the trailer is in Susegana. He has very predictably traveled north out of Ferrara and is now going to probably start going east in order to get to Bratislava. Now, interestingly, right after Susegana, it looks like Adam gets on a bus to the neighboring town of Conegliano. We have a couple short glimpses of Adam on a bus and at a bus stop, and then there's this clip, which we have identified as being recorded on the road from Susegana to Conegliano. Now, once in Conegliano, Adam probably tries to do a challenge, but we don't see any of this in the trailer. The only clip we have from Conegliano is this clip. Meanwhile, Sam and Ben probably follow right in Adam's footsteps, traveling north out of Ferrara. But interestingly, we catch this short glimpse of Sam just a couple stops into the journey. The train is standing completely still in this clip, for whatever reason, right outside of the town of Monselice. Well, eventually Sam and Ben get past Monselice and they go to Venice. Not the interesting city center out in the lagoon, but just the boring mainland part. Now, the trailer has a bunch of clips of Sam and Ben in this station in Venice, running around in the tunnel, stressing at the ticket machine and just standing on platforms. Now, the tickets they get from the ticket machine are for a train to Udine that they maybe miss. There's this other clip of Sam standing on a platform for a train going to Trieste, but I haven't really tried to figure out which direction they go. I just know from the trailer that they eventually end up in Monfalcone. Now, why would they go there? Well, because this is the next we see of Adam in the trailer. Adam has made it to the town of Gorizia, right on the Italian border to Slovenia. Here we see this clip of him doing a challenge where he needs to flip coins. Now, this location was found in part thanks to a cool new technique that we haven't had the chance to use with previous seasons, namely looking up license plate registrations. The user Sasso on the Discord figured out how to do this with Italian cars, and it turned out these two cars behind Adam in the clip are indeed from Gorizia province. Now, as I said before, Sam and Ben end up going to Monfalcone, not too far from Gorizia. All we have from Monfalcone is this singular clip of Sam eating a leaf. But now it gets interesting because Sam and Ben seem to arrive in Gorizia while Adam is still there. Now, Adam has walked into the other half of town, which is in Slovenia, that has its own train station. We have a couple of clips of Sam and Ben trying to stalk Adam around town. I'm not sure how successfully this is. But eventually a chase breaks out. An Adam chase, and this is what we see in these clips from the trailer, where we can only assume that Adam does eventually get caught. Following these events, we have this clip of Sam right on the other side of the Slovenian border by the train station.
We are so freaking back.
It seems like Sam has become the new runner, and Ben and Adam must therefore be the chasers. Now, we don't see any more of Ben and Adam on this day in the trailer, but Sam we do. Because on this same day, wearing the same outfit, Sam travels back east to the town of Bassano del Grappa. Here we see this clip of him sitting at a corner of a parking lot at the train station. And now it's been speculated that this exact corner of this exact parking lot is also the location where this clip was recorded. And it makes sense to me. It looks like Sam might be hunched over a jigsaw puzzle on the ground in this clip, and the lighting in both clips match. The sun is low in the sky in both of them. Now, we can't say this for absolute certain. Nobody went out there in real life and took images of this spot on the concrete. That would be crazy if someone did that, right? But with everything else that lines up, I believe it. And with that, we end day one. Sam is in Bassano del Grappa and he's trying to make it all the way to Lyon. Will he make it? Well, let's have a look at the first clips we see from day two are of Sam still in Bassano del Grappa. He's wearing a new shirt with no hole in it, and he's walking across this bridge at the center of town. Then next up in the timeline, we have this clip of someone appearing to travel north through the Brenta Valley towards Trento in the Italian Alps. Now, the clock on the clock tower says 8:45 or 9 a.m. It's not quite easy to tell, but since this is straight north of Bassano del Grappa, it makes sense that this would be Sam in the morning of day two. Well, if Sam is going to Trento, it makes sense for Ben and Adam to follow suit, because this is one of the only ways through this part of the Alps. And indeed, the trailer gives us this clip of Ben and Adam in Verona, which is the one other way to get to Trento.
Two teams, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene.
And Ben and Adam do also leave Verona and go to Trento. They might even get there before Sam, as we have this clip of them at Trento station, just waiting for him, I guess. And hey, fun fact, I was also on a train through Trento on my Interrail this summer. Now, interestingly, we also have this solo clip of Ben at Trento station.
Here we go.
It seems likely to me that this is of Ben starting his run after Sam got caught in Trento. And the train departure on the board behind Ben in this clip goes back the same way that Sam just came from, and it looks like Ben actually goes back the same way. Because the next clip we see of him is this one. Ben is in the town of Castelfranco Veneto, which interestingly is still in Adam's win area. The game has barely left it. We have 2 other clips of Ben from Castelfranco Veneto, and both of them show Ben holding a pickle jar in his hands. Apparently he has drawn a challenge which involves him buying and very quickly downing an entire bottle of pickles. Now the clock tower behind Ben says it's 1:10 in the afternoon, which makes me wonder whether the Italian siesta, the riposo, had any influence on this game at all, because a lot of stores close during that middle of the day, and from my own experience it can be a little bit hard to find a place to buy anything at that time of day. Although maybe not if you're right next to a train station. Now anyways, Ben probably makes it out of Castelfranco Veneto, but interestingly this is his last known whereabouts as a runner. We don't know where he goes from here, although it seems like he goes further west past Verona, rather than going straight south where his end goal is. Now, if we don't see any more of Ben's run, how do we know he goes west after this? Well, because this clip of Adam on a train leaving Verona station is probably from his run after Ben gets caught. In fact, it seems like Verona is basically going to be the Lille of this season. They go back there a lot. And this clip of Adam in the train at Verona station is not from when him and Ben were there earlier in order to get to Trento to catch Sam, because this train that Adam's on is not going north to Trento. It's not even going east to Adam's win area, it's going west. Now why is this, and how do we solve this problem with the timeline? Well, by looking at this clip from Adam's run, of Adam pulling a card that he is seemingly not very happy with. No. By looking up the license plates on the cars behind Adam in this clip, as Sasso on the Discord server had done before, he was able to determine that this car was registered in the Verona province, this car in the Bologna province, and this car doesn't yield any results. And then there's this license plate that we just barely don't see the entirety of. Looks like the second to last symbol is a G or a C, but the final symbol is completely obscured. Well, that leaves few enough possibilities that we can brute force our way through the rest of it. By looking up every single combination, we figured out that only one of them was in fact on a car with a make and model that matched that of this one. And that car was registered in the Reggio Emilia province. All that was left to do now was to look for this specific house near a train station in the rough area around these provinces. And it was likely that Adam would have gone to a town from which he could leave in multiple directions. Well, lo and behold, after not too long, the Discord user Diol268 had found it. This was one of the cooler geolocation efforts this season. Well done for finding that. Now it turns out Adam had gone right here in the town of Nogara, just south of Verona. Already very close to Adam's own win area, although Sam and Ben had just had 2 turns as the runner to get out of there. Now, going to Nogara explains why the train seemed to be headed west in that one clip from Verona. The train to Nogara leaves the station headed west, but then immediately turns and goes south. From Nogara, Adam can either go straight towards his win area to the east by going through the town of Monselice, or he can escape back north through Verona. Sam and Ben apparently decide to hedge their bets and travel further east into Adam's win area in order to get ahead of him. I say that because we have this clip from the tracks between Verona and Padova. We can tell by the angle of the sun that this was recorded in the evening, so this seems to fit at this point of the timeline. Now, while in Nogara, Adam is seen drawing or writing something on a piece of paper, and I have a theory as to what this might be about. At 6:52 that evening, Adam announced on Twitter that he was going to host an AMA and ask me anything. Now, he never responded to any of the questions that he received, but later that evening he wrote this message. "I'm sorry for lying, you will understand later." Very strange behavior. Might this be part of a challenge? Well, yeah. I propose that Adam drew a challenge along the lines of predict your followers' questions. And these scenes of him with pen and paper is of him writing down predictions as to what questions people might ask him. Now, I went and looked at the questions, and to me there are surprisingly few joke and meme questions, so I don't know how easy these would be to predict. But of course, I don't know if this is what he's doing, and if it is, how many predictions he's allowed to make, so I don't know. We'll see. Let's move on to day 3. To be completely honest, I'm not quite sure if this next clip happens at the end of day 2 or the beginning of day 3, because Ben is wearing an outfit that we don't see him wearing in any other clip. Since it's a long-sleeved shirt, I'm going to theorize that this is because it's the morning of day 3 and it's a little cold. Now the clip in question is this.
Oh my god, what do we do? Ben, down, down, down.
It seems like Adam is on a train that stops at the station where Ben and Sam is at. Now, last season of Tag saw some crazy evasive plays from Ben, so if Adam manages to get out of this situation, it wouldn't be unheard of. But with how careful Sam and Ben seem to be to not be seen by Adam, it doesn't seem good for Team Adam at this point. The clip here is recorded at Monselice station, the same station where Ben and Sam were apparently held up for a while at the very beginning of the game. It looks like Adam took the eastbound route out of Nogara. Now, whatever happens in Monselice, we do know that Adam does eventually get caught. How do we know this? Well, it's time to talk about the last 3 clips that we haven't discussed yet. That's right, 3 more locations is all we have left for the entirety of the rest of day 3. They wouldn't want to spoil too much in the trailer after all. But regardless, the 3 locations that we do have do say quite a lot. In particular, there seems to be one clip in the trailer that reveals a lot about how day 3 plays out. When put into the context of the timeline we've been building so far, it sets a pretty clear direction in my eyes. In fact, I might go so far as to say I can predict who wins the game based on the inclusion of this one clip in the trailer. The clip in question is this. Oh. Oops, no, that's not it. That's actually an image I took out of the window of my train on my way to Switzerland on my vacation last month. No, this is the clip I'm talking about. We don't know who recorded this clip, but it does seem to have been recorded in the afternoon, and that's right, it was recorded in Switzerland, quite far from Monselice. The clip was recorded right here specifically, on the train headed north towards the famous Gotthard Tunnel. This tunnel brings you to Göschenen of Jetlag Season 9 fame, and then down to the other side of the Alps to the Swiss plateau. Even though we don't see who's recording this, it seems to me to only make sense that this would be recorded while Sam was the runner, which means that Sam seems to have successfully evaded Ben and Adam for quite a while. The trip to here from back in Monselice takes just shy of 7 hours by train, and that's not even counting the stops that Sam would have to make to earn the coins to travel this far. And even if Sam does get caught as the runner, that then leaves Ben as the next runner, very far from his own win area. Even getting to Bologna, which is just barely across the border to Ben's win area, would take him over 5 hours. That is time he simply just does not have. And if he gets caught midway, Adam doesn't seem to fare much better. If this timeline is correct, then it seems to me the only way Sam could lose is if Ben just gives up and lets Adam catch him in Switzerland. Then Adam might have a chance to get to his own win area by going somewhere like Austria. So yeah, if you ask me, it looks like it's finally time for Sam to get a solo win under his belt. Except, what if that's what they want us to think? What if this one clip is simply a piece of stock footage to confuse us? A trap? After all, this clip is super far away from every other clip we've discussed so far, almost all of which were within Adam's win area. Well, we do have a little more to back up this theory. Namely, those 2 other identified locations from day 3. Well, actually 3 more, I counted wrong before. These 3 short clips were recorded at the train stations in Padova and Milan respectively, and they show us Ben in what must be his day 3 attire, a white shirt as opposed to the yellow and blue ones from previous days. Now, Padova and Milan fit perfectly into this timeline, as these are the exact 2 railway hubs that Ben and Adam would have to go to in order to, as fast as possible, follow Sam up through the Gotthard Tunnel. And with that, I rest my case. So that's it. It is my informed opinion that Sam Denby will be the sole winner of Jetlag the Game Season 11. And poor Ben seems like he's gonna have it rough. If this timeline is correct, then they don't even enter his win area once in the entire game. I didn't expect to so confidently be able to proclaim a winner for this one, so that's pretty neat, I guess. Would be cool if I'm wrong and they somehow tricked us though. As always, you can find the links to all of our notes in the description of this video. This season, somebody actually went and put together a whole website solely dedicated to analyzing the Jetlag trailer. It's got a nice overview of most of the locations we found. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. Go check it out, and kudos to Discord user Yannick for making that. Also, I should mention that the link to the Jetlag Discord server is also in the description if you want to join us the next time we analyze a Jetlag trailer. I would love to see you there, but make sure to only discuss spoilers like these in the speculation channels on that server. This is not my private server, and there are people on there who would very much like to not be spoiled. Thank you. And now, before I end the video, of course, I want to give a huge thank you to the whole list of people who helped out with analyzing this trailer. Thank you to Another Doofus, Yannick, Livy X Bobby X, Pom Pom, Makurosu, Lord Franken Ninja, Sasso, Diol268, Finn, Ago, Swiss Nessie, Boalabo, Uis, Carol, and Job Job. I hope I didn't miss anyone, but even if I did, I'm so thankful for your help. With that, this has been another jet lag trailer successfully analyzed. Thanks to Sam, Ben, and Adam for producing this ingenious show. Thanks to you for watching. And in 2 weeks, I am going to be at the GeoGuessr World Championships. Not as a contestant, mind you, just in the audience. If you are going as well and you see me there, by all means come up and say hi, that would be awesome. For now though, bye bye, and so long.